Okay, so let us get started for tonight. And definitely if we are watching throughout the market for today, we are not really seeing any big market movements happening as of now, and I think this is very much common for us to see this. And one of the main ideas that we have been looking so far throughout this market for today is one of the things that prices are still moving lower, and especially last night as prices finally break down below 3,350 and stay below that. That really certainly marks the change from the market that we have been seeing so far. And this is certainly the proof that we have already been able to make out of the market during very tiring conditions of the market where prices just keeps on ranging. If you guys are watching since last night, that prices are just ranging and ranging a lot of time. So before that we are saying selling at the resistance could be the best results, but after last night we started to see that prices has already finished its ranging market movement, and we started to see that prices starts to fall and drop lower. And I think that itself is a really good sign for the overall long-term market movement. And once prices break down below 3,350, we do see that there's been some extremes, I would say, that prices are able to rebound after hitting the lows at 3,333 and then goes back higher, returning towards 3,357. But eventually prices do drop and hasn't been able to come back towards those prices, and that really confirms that the most likelihood scenario that we are watching through this market is we are going to see that the gold market will likely to stay under 3,350 for tonight. I think that could be the certainty that a lot of people are waiting and trying to see what's going on. But ultimately, after that kind of drop, usually one of the things that we could actually be looking out on the market is we are likely to see that the market will also be slowing down, guys. Alright, so make sure that you guys pay attention towards those, as usually after such a big drop, right now as you guys could see, prices is trying to rebound, trying to find its footing, testing the support at 3,315 area, and so far it seems that the support is still working quite well on those prices. So I'd love to see how that market reactions work at there. And ultimately, from this kind of market movement, I will be expecting that the likelihood for prices to retest the resistance at 3,335 is still very much open with this kind of scenario, where it seems that prices is still trying to build another support here, and possibly a double bottom scenario could be forming right now, but it's still too early to say. Until prices breaks out higher than 3,328, I think it's still a little bit too early to say yes, we are going to see that double bottom appearing on the market. So I would say the most likelihood scenario based on the overall market movement, that if we are usually looking at the market, we are likely to see that prices, for now, as prices hasn't been able to drop back lower, I'm expecting to see that prices will be at the very least trying to test this first before prices goes down again in the market movement for tonight, guys, because the overall scenario that we are watching, it's more likely to give us this kind of scenario on the market where prices will be rebounding first and then dropping, similar as what we have been seeing so far happening on the market, guys. Alright, so that's the overall feel that we are getting for tonight, and I'm expecting for that to happen on the market as well. Alright, but certainly there's always chances that prices couldn't be returning towards here and then dropping back lower. There's always the case for that to happen. So we'll try to see how that goes on, and if that happens, I think that should really shows the bearishness for tonight. If not, we are likely to see that prices will be testing the resistance at higher grounds, guys. Alright, that's the view for today, and we shall see how this goes on, guys. Alright, so if you guys are enjoying so far our analysis, and you guys could get a little bit of idea where you guys could be planning your trade for today. I hope that's a good thing. So you guys are welcome to give us a support by giving us a thumbs up and likes. But if you guys think, I want to get more ideas, you guys are welcome to stay here and watch our live streaming session. So don't forget to follow and subscribe so that you guys don't miss out on the critical information that I always share at the early part of the live streaming sessions, guys. Alright, so if you guys are just joining in, I believe that you guys should have been missing out on the important key points what I'm looking at the market for tonight. Alright, so I'll be deleting this since it's taking a little bit of a space, and let us try to see what's been happening on the long-term market movement. And if there's any news that is happening around the market, I would love to check it out. But certainly with this kind of market movement, we are seeing that the US dollar index is weakened and most of the other currency has been strengthening for tonight. So that is the view. And so far, I'm not really getting much for now on this news. Let me refresh a little bit. Okay. So far, nothing dramatic happened for now. Middle East escalation has already starts to slow down and de-escalate. I think that itself is a really good thing. And this is the overall updates if you guys are watching. Alright, so nothing big happened and things started to calm down a little bit, and I think the biggest trading assets that is being hit as of now should be happening on the oil market, guys. Alright, so we shall try to see from that kind of perspective and see how that goes on later. Alright, so since we have already been talking about that prices has already been weakening and the chances for prices to go down on the today is still pretty much open, what's the view on the long run on the gold market? Okay, so let us try to look at that point of view, and let me switch to another chart so that you guys can see much clearer. And one of the main ideas I've always been telling you guys multiple times across the weeks is I'm rather seeing the possibility that we are likely to see that gold market will likely to test 3,300 support area. And one of the main reasons we have already been saying that multiple times is we have already been seeing prices hasn't been able to sustain its movement towards the upside. Prices every time trying to break out higher has always failed to sustain its price above 3,400, 3,430, and the breakout hasn't been always well. And we are likely to see that prices will be testing 3,300 support area, because that is certainly a key support area for most of the time, 3,300. And once price break down 3,300, I think that could really change the whole view on the market, especially if that happens pretty early on the market. We could actually be sensing that there's a possibility that the market will be trying to push down and build up the reversal that we have been trying to see, as prices hasn't been able to sustain its uptrend anymore as we did on the last few months. And there's a possibility that prices, once testing 3,300, we will likely to see prices will be testing the 3,200 support. And once that happens, that could really change the whole dynamic, and we could see prices breaking down 3,200. The next likelihood is going to hit $3,000 mark for the support, and it's likely once that happens, prices break down below 3,200, breaks down below 3,000, we are not going to see that the gold market will sustain its uptrend movement anymore. Once that happens, guys, and likely we are going to see that the market will be moving on the sideways instead. Okay, so I think that's the whole scenario that we are looking out from that market perspective on the long term. And I've been drawing this for since last week actually, guys. So if you guys have been following us here, I'm sure that you guys have been getting the updates. What's my point of view from the gold market movement so far since last week? And if we are back on the charts just now, it seems that yes, prices hasn't been able to go higher, and signs that prices are weakening is there. So let us view how things will be going on from here. Personally, like I said, there are chances that prices will be slowing down again, so we shall try to see out how this goes, guys. Alright, And yes, definitely the case is still intact with what we have been saying so far, and nothing much has changed compared to what we have been assuring you guys. Okay. Alright, so since we have already been discussing what's happening on the gold market itself, I think it's quite important for us to actually discuss what is happening also on the silver market, as both assets is usually correlated, and I think good things could be happening from there as well. Okay, so if you guys are enjoying and get a little bit of insights what you guys are expecting on the gold market movement, long term, short term, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and likes, and if you guys haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you will be missing out on key important informations that I will be sharing with you guys as usual on the live streaming sessions from Monday to Friday. So don't forget to click that button. Okay, so next I'll be talking about what's happening on the silver market movement with you guys, and try to see are there any great market opportunities that could be happening there. So one of the major key criteria that we have been seeing on the silver market movement is there's been something happening, especially since last night. But overall, the view hasn't really changed much. That silver market movement is not really showing any clear trends since the last Friday, I believe. Okay, so since Friday, we have already been seeing that prices is just ranging between the $35.90 towards the $36.20 area, and since then we haven't been able to identify when we are going to see that big drop happening on silver. Where gold has already suffered at least a little bit of weaknesses, we haven't been able to see that happen on the silver market, and I think that's a little bit of anomaly happening on the market, and it's a little bit of unusual scenario, but it does happen on the market with this kind of market movement. And with this itself, I think we are going to see some good chances that the silver market movement here will be likely affected, and throughout this market movement I would say it's going to be a little bit tougher to trade, and that's why I haven't been touching this market for quite some time, especially since last Friday, as we are not really seeing any clear momentum or any clear trends, and this kind of market definitely is the ones that I will try to avoid, as the likelihood to hit stop losses is really huge. The likelihood to make trades and make lots of mistakes is likely to appear during this kind of market scenario, unless you have already planned your trade, buy on the support, sell at the resistance, which I think could take some time and didn't really offer much in terms of greater market movement. So I think if you guys are still insisting to trade during this market, I think you guys should be careful, because the tendency to move slower, more mistakes is really high around this market. So I would suggest that you guys could reconsider your positions if you guys wanted to trade on this market. But the view is still the same. I'm expecting to see a correction. Maybe prices will be testing the $35 support area. But with this kind of market conditions, what's happening for the silver market in the long run? So if we are watching through the market here, we're actually looking at some good chances that the silver market movement long term wise is really good. And why I'm saying it's really good, because if you guys are watching carefully here on the market, we are seeing that prices has always been testing the support area at around $35.40, and it has been rebounding perfectly well and has been able to sustain that uptrend movement that we have been talking for some times, where the original uptrend channel has been trading towards that, and prices has been building up really well, especially after that consolidations over the past 1 month during April towards May, and then prices has been going higher since then. So I think that involvement itself is a really good thing, and overall we are seeing really good signs happening on the market, where prices just keeps on building up on that uptrend channel and has been able to maintain its prices right at the middle of this uptrend channel. And on the long term market movement perspective is still really good, because there's a good chance that silver prices movement on the daily charts long term has the potential to hit $40 on the long run. As long as prices still maintains its price within this uptrend channel, price movement will likely to go higher rather than stuck on the sideways. And it's a totally different story from the ones that we have been discussing on the short term. Long term wise, I think it's still a very much a good and an open scenario for you guys to make some good profits on the long run, especially if prices starts to break up $36, $37. I think there are really good chances for us to see that silver market movement could be going higher. But for tonight, and since last Friday, I haven't been able to see a lot of movements, and definitely I will be suggesting for you guys, be a little bit careful with this kind of market movements, because I'm not really seeing anything clear, and I hope you guys are a little bit careful trading around these markets. So I think if you guys are asking me, do I prefer to trade on silver or gold, I would still suggest to you guys that the safest option to trade right now is still appeared on the gold market movement, as there are rooms to make some moves, and risk wise I think there's more opportunities for you guys to actually move around and could still make some good movements here on this market. So I think my focus for this week should still lies in the gold market movement, unless we started to see that silver market movement starts to move. I think that could really change the whole narrative, but if that didn't happen at all, I think I would still choose to put my focus back on the gold market as of now. Alright, so that's the view, and let us see how this market movement works, because like I said, the tendency for now is for us to see prices will be trying to test the support area, and a rebound is likely to happen. We shall try to see how high the resistance will be hitting 3335 area as of now, so far from what we are able to see from the market. Okay, hope you guys are enjoying the live streaming session so far, and if you guys are enjoying and you guys get a little bit of idea what you guys could do on your trades on both gold and the silver market movement, don't forget to give us your thumbs up and likes. And if you guys do have any questions about the market, you guys are always welcome to let me know on the comments or the chats. And if you guys are thinking that you guys wanted something more than just analysis, you guys are always welcome to click the link on my profile, the video descriptions, and I'll be happily showing you guys how you guys could get some trading plan that you guys could use on your own and make some profitable trades together with us, guys. Alright, and certainly if you guys wanted to know what's happening behind the scenes that really lead towards the gold declining since the early market sessions for today, you guys are always welcome to chat me and ask for access on the VIP live sessions that I'll be conducting tonight, and you guys could ask for it through the link on the profile or the video descriptions, and chat me if you guys wanted to access the VIP live, and I'll be showing you guys how you guys could get those as well. So head on, click on the link, ask that you guys wanted to get trading plans, you guys wanted to get access on the VIP live sessions tonight. Okay. Alright, so I still say that today's view is still right back to the gold market, guys. Alright. Okay, so far not really great movements, and I believe that we should be able to see that behind every gold and silver market movement, XAU, XAG, there's a US dollar index. I think US dollar index hasn't been able to move a lot, and that's why we are not really seeing a lot of movement happening on this gold and silver market movement. So in a while I'll be discussing what's happening on the US dollar index since last night, and how you guys could make some actions through those insights soon. Okay, so if I'm showing you guys the currency strength charts, you guys could actually see that today the US dollar index is weakening, and you guys could definitely trade almost every single currency pair against the US dollar. So for instance, you guys could actually trade the New Zealand dollar USD, AUD USD, and probably GBP USD, and definitely almost all currency pairs is stronger against the US dollar index for a long. And if you guys are trading with the US dollar as the denominator, you guys could definitely put some short positions like US dollar Japanese yen, US dollar Swiss franc, as well as the US dollar CAD, guys. Alright, so I think those are the market movements that you guys could take a closer look on the currency market movement for tonight, as prices are still showing that kind of tendency. And let us try to view in a few minutes how the gold market movement will be changing, as I've already been showing you guys what's the market directions that could be happening for tonight earlier on. So let me just draw it for you guys again so that you guys could get a little bit of a feel. That's the feel for tonight, guys. Alright, I'll let this run for a while, and later on I'll be deleting it. So if you guys are missing out just now and how I'm actually able to project this kind of movement, you guys should be subscribing and following us, so that the next time I'm sharing this kind of analysis and scenario, you guys could get the clear understanding why I could be seeing this kind of market movement happening on the gold market. Alright, and right now we are using 30-minute time frame charts, just in case you guys are asking. Okay, so since there hasn't been a lot of market movements, let us try to discuss what could be possibly happening on the US dollar index and get us a little bit of a clue what could be happening from there, guys. Alright, okay, let us start see what's going on those markets, guys. Okay, and definitely if you guys have any questions on the market, you guys are always welcome to chat me on the comments or the chats. I'll be reading if you guys do have any questions, and definitely if you guys want to learn how to trade and analyze the market together with us, or look at any markets that we haven't been discussing so far, you guys could always request what we could be tracking and analyzing together. So don't forget to drop your comments or questions on the market as well. Okay, so let us switch the view and let us see what's going on in the US dollar index. Okay, So on the US dollar index, we could actually see one thing is very clear that has been happening since last night. We've really been telling you guys the possibility that prices last night in the US dollar index has hit the high at the resistance area at $99, and I believe if you guys are here on the live streaming sessions yesterday, you guys should have been able to know that I've already been discussing that maximum we are likely to see a resistance area hit at $99 and prices will be slowing down. And what happened since then? Prices has been dropping a lot and hasn't been able to recover it. As you guys could see that the US dollar index strength is weakening across the time, and I believe with over the last few hours prices are still trying to test the support area back at the $97.70. We started to see, yes, prices on the US dollar index rebounded a little bit, so that's why we started to see there's been some cases where the gold market movement starts to slow down a little bit, and we are likely to see how the prices will be reacting towards this market movement. But the overall trend is still really clear, especially if you guys are watching through the longer time frame, 1 hour, or even the daily charts. You guys could actually see that the overall US dollar index movement is very clear, that we are likely to see prices persisting towards the downtrend, lower high, lower low. And I think we should be able to see that prices maybe could be slowing down a little bit at some point of trades, but eventually prices will be following its original trend, its downtrend momentum, especially if later on I'll be showing us what's happening on the daily charts. You guys can actually see it very clearly on the market. But overall for tonight, we have been seeing that prices has been weakening and it's likely to test the support a while here before prices continues to go over maximum. We could actually be expecting maybe maximum prices on the US dollar index will be trying to test the resistance at there at around $97.90 before prices drops back lower for those kind of market movements. So I think I could be expecting to see those movements later on. We shall see how that goes. It's going to be a little bit slower as expected, but we shall see how that goes. Personally, long-term market movement is short. Short-term, I'll be expecting that price on the US dollar index will also be weakened, yes. And let me show you guys what's happening on the daily charts here. You guys can actually see it very clear that since the peak appeared on the early part of February, prices has already been dropping, and since then hasn't been able to show any signs of recovery, especially since yesterday prices resistance is actually really showing that kind of prices rejecting the resistance, and prices has been slowly going back lower and lower on the long run. Okay, so I think the view on the US dollar index is really clear. Long run US dollar index will be weakening, and at the same time we are seeing that the gold is not really going up really much anymore. And I think if Middle East escalations calms down, trade deals is there, we are likely to see gold will not be the asset that investors will be investing. I think that's the main reason why we could actually start to see the reversal happening of gold. US dollar index will be dropping, and instead people or investors will choose to invest in riskier assets such as the stock indices, as well as the cryptocurrency market movement is slightly one thing that you guys should be watching as well closely. If everything goes well, trade deals has been agreed with most of the important nations around the world, and Middle East escalation slows down, Russia, Ukraine could be also slowing down. I think that could be the case. US dollar index weakening and gold prices should be slowing down, and stock indices should be going up in the future. Alright, so that's the view, but let us go back to the gold. Try to see what's been happening since we are analyzing on the US dollar index. Okay, so far US dollar index is still moving in a very similar price, hasn't been able to show a lot of changes. And again, like I said, we could be seeing that prices will be testing the resistance quite sometimes, and there's not going to be a quick trade, as you guys know that after that big drop, not a lot of sentiments other than Fed chair that will be testifying later tonight. So I think it's going to take some time before that news really do arrive on the market. I think we need to be patient to see how that market will be reacting towards it. Okay, so if you guys are enjoying our analysis so far, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and likes, and certainly if you guys are getting some insights on how the gold, silver, and all of the US dollar index market movement. And in a moment, I'll be discussing the US dollar index against the other currency. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and likes and subscribe so that you guys don't miss out what we have been talking on the gold, silver market movement earlier on. Because if you just join in, I'm sure that you guys have been missing out on the key market movements that I've been talking on both gold and silver for tonight, guys. So if you guys don't want to miss that out, the only way that you guys could do that, follow and subscribe, so tomorrow you'll be notified when I started my live streaming sessions, and you guys could get those ideas tomorrow again. For tonight, I think I'll be just covering and try to see how that plays out according to what we have already been discussing. And so far it has already been going into directions and nothing much has changed. And definitely if you guys have any questions about the market, or if you guys wanted to request any trading assets that you guys wanted to see and analyze together, you guys are always welcome to chat me or comment on this live streaming sessions. I'll be trying to see what are you guys requesting, or if you guys have any questions about trading or any markets that you guys are trading on, you guys are always welcome to ask me questions about it. So hope I could help you guys. Okay, so for now, let us try to stay on here, try to see how the market movement, whether prices on 3320 could be hit soon, or prices will be slowing down. As you guys know, that's what always happens most of the time around these hours. But you guys know markets could be full of surprises, something could be happening, and let us analyze and watch together until the live streaming sessions end, guys. Alright. And right now we are watching through the 30-minute time frame charts, just in case you guys are asking. Alright, so let us switch towards the currency strength charts and see what's going on. I'll be back on the gold chart as usual, but if you guys do wanted to focus more on gold, don't worry guys, I'll be always back on the gold charts as usual. Okay, so one of the things that I will always be watching carefully is how the currency market movement works, because most of the time when we started to see that the clearest, strongest currency against the weakest currency pairs could be the best choice to trade. And if you guys look that on the top corner, you guys could actually see that contains the currency alongside with its color, and you guys could actually see what's the market movement tonight. So if you guys are watching right now, you guys could actually see that and New Zealand dollar and the Australian dollar always move in tandem. It's the strongest pair tonight after yesterday weakening a lot. And if I'm showing you guys what happened yesterday, you guys could actually see that is a very contrasting view on the market, where last night Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar is the weakest pair up until something happened on the market, which I'm going to be talking much here. So if you guys wanted to know what's the update, I'll be telling you guys on the VIP live sessions, so you guys could ask those access on the link on my video profile and on the video descriptions of the profile for access on my VIP live sessions. I'll be sharing with you guys. And with this kind of market movement, it's very common for us to see that Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar will be moving ahead compared to the rest. And as a result, since the US dollar index has already been going quite strong since yesterday, we are seeing that tonight US dollar index is a little bit weakening. But that's one thing that I should be noting to you guys, that after a little bit weakened since the last 1 hour on the US dollar index, prices starts to rebound it. And it's also been the case where the strongest pairs also started to show some signs of slowing down after going up quite much over the market movement for tonight. So I think with that alone, we are seeing that there's good chances that the overall trend could still continue for tonight, because there's still some times until the Fed chair really testify, and there could be something happening across the other currency market against the US dollar. And for now, I think the best momentum, if you guys asking me, is certainly coming out from the Swiss franc. As you guys could see, the market movement here has been moving really well. And also we are also seeing that the euro has also been moving much better. So I think against the US dollar index currency pairs, there's some chances that you guys could actually be trading on the the US dollar Swiss franc for shorts and euro USD for long, based on the momentums that we are seeing. But I think it's still notable for us to try to take a look here on the New Zealand dollar as well as the Australian dollar, see is there any opportunities, or is it a healthy pullback is happening on the market. So let us try to take a look on those markets. So US dollar Swiss franc for short positions. Alright, so the momentum is still there, prices is still breaking down lower and lower, I think. So if you guys are trying to find the trend, it's very clear. Prices are weakening, showing signs that prices are still slowing down, and despite last night US dollar index is quite strengthening, we are not really seeing that it has been affecting the market trades here a lot, and we are seeing that price momentum is still going down lower. So if you guys love to trade on the currency market, and definitely this is one of the trades that you guys could be taking a closer look here. As prices keeps on dropping, US dollar Swiss franc, this is certainly a chances that you guys definitely don't want to miss out as prices continues to drop, and the momentum is still there as we have already just been checking around. So I think this is the chance if you guys wanted to do shorts on the currency market. Meanwhile, if you are checking the Euro USD, I should believe that market just rebounded as prices has been moving particularly well, and we'll be trying to test the high of this year, I would say, at 1.1635. So I think this is a healthy pullback, especially with the US dollar index has been weakening. This is a good chance for you guys to consider to do the long positions here on this Euro USD market movement, guys, as this is still consisting a very good uptrend since yesterday after US dollar index weakens, and I think this is a good chance for you guys to buy around here, stop losses around here. Target price this year's high is still very much attainable on this market movement. Meanwhile, if we try to check out like Australian dollar against the USD, I don't really see a lot of tractions for now, but certainly prices has already returned towards the higher ground, and with the US dollar index weakens, I think there's still some chances that Australian dollar could still be a very good trading pair for you guys to trade, as prices is still experiencing a healthy pullback, and I believe that should also be the case for the New Zealand dollar trade. So if you guys are asking me what you guys could be doing on the currency market movement trades for tonight, I think it should be coming out from the Euro USD for longs, together alongside with the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and for shorts positions, you guys could definitely consider US dollar CHF. I hope that helps you guys. And if you guys do have any questions about what we have been discussing, don't forget to drop in your questions or comments. And if you guys are enjoying your live streaming session so far here with us together, don't forget to give us your thumbs up and likes. Hope you guys are enjoying your time here, and don't forget to click the follow and like subscribe button so that you guys don't miss out on any important informations that I won't be repeating, guys. Alright, so I'll be just taking a closer look across different markets, but the key points, the key market movements, I will always be discussing it once. So if you guys don't want to miss out the next time I'm doing the live streaming sessions, don't forget to click the follow and subscribe button and share this video with your friends or anyone that you guys know who is interested to learn how to view the market, analyze the market, and you guys could do it together here with your friends and have interactive discussions with me, as I'm very happy to have discussions with you also about what we have been discussing. And you guys are definitely welcome to ask me any questions about trading, certainly, or any market that I haven't been discussing, and any problem you guys are facing on your trading. You guys are always welcome to chat me and let me know if you guys do have any questions about it as well. Okay, so I hope that helps you, and if you guys do have anything that you guys wanted to ask, as always, I'm here, and you guys are welcome to ask me those questions. So far, the gold market movement hasn't been actually producing a lot of movements, and I think it's still going to take some time before we actually start seeing something happening here. So we are likely to wait and try to see how things are going out from this market movement. So far, prices is still slowing down, trying to test the lows at 3,223, and so far market movement is still trying to rebound. So I think so far from what we are seeing, we are indeed seeing that the US dollar index is weakening, and that's why we started to see those momentum on the US dollar Swiss franc should be continuing together alongside with Euro USD for longs, AUD USD for longs, as well as NZD USD for longs should be moving really well for tonight, yes. But I'm afraid that the momentum isn't really well for the gold, as prices are still moving a little bit slow and not really showing us any clear momentum as of now. Alright, PL, welcome, good evening. I think you're a little bit late again for tonight. I think I've been discussing for quite some time, and I'm sure that you just joined us. Alright, so welcome. Oh, I did catch the earlier part at YouTube. Alright, no worries. Okay, that's good. Okay. So nothing much for now. Joined at 7 p.m. But that's good if you do catch up. Okay, so far nothing much as I could see. Tonight, I think there will be important news happening in the markets coming up from the Germany IFO expectations. Everything seems to be a bit better for futures other than the current market conditions. And I believe that tonight we'll be having the Canadian CPI data that should be affecting the Canadian dollar's movement. So let us see how that goes. And personally, I see that with the US dollar index weakening right now, I think it's a little bit worrying on the gold market movement. We should be trying to see how prices will be reacting. And maximum 3335 as we are watching closely on the resistance area for today for the live streaming sessions and see how prices reacting towards those prices. Okay. Okay. Okay, so seems that prices are still slowing down, not really showing any clear movements, but certainly prices is trying to test again here, I say. So we shall see how that goes, and let us see how that. Okay, so I think the most likelihood scenario, we'll see how prices will be reacting towards this area, whether prices could immediately goes higher again, testing 3346, 3350, or whether prices could be slowing down and build up a very good reversal that I will be expecting on the market. Okay, so we shall try to see how that goes on. And definitely not a lot of market reactions for now. I think it's also the similar reactions that we should be expecting appeared on the silver market movement. Nothing much, nothing quite significant as well. As usual, we always know that. So let us try to see as well. Nothing much for now, guys. Okay. Alright, so let us see how the gold market movement works, and if there's nothing significant, I would love to discuss what's happening on the oil market and give you guys a little bit of updates what has been happening on the stock indices market, because I think stock indices has been moving particularly well, and I think with the de-escalation happening in the Middle East certainly is a positive thing that a lot of people are likely to be happy to know it, as we could actually start to see the possibility of an uptrend movement happening on the stock indices. Okay, so I think that should be a very key point that could be happening on the stock indices side, and particularly in the US side, which has been moving on the sideways for some times after breaking out higher, testing its resistance at its high. I think something could be good happening from there. Alright, so let us try to see and watch out for the gold market movement. If there's anything changes, let us see. Personally, I think market movement on the upside will be very much limited, as the tendency for tonight is still moving weakened and bearish. So I think that should really show you the market movement. For now, price is still trying to see testing the high before going lower from what I could be seeing. So we shall see how that goes. Okay, but it seems that gold market movement is still slowing down, and the chances for prices to be dropping still likely exist. So we shall see. For now, I'm sensing that market is not really moving much, as you guys could see. Okay, so I will try to see out that how that plays out, and let us move on. Try to see what's been happening on the oil market. Right, so oil market, I think it's a little bit interesting. There's been some big changes happening across the market, and I think to really see what's going on, I think should be much more appropriate for us to see what's happening on the 1 hour time frame charts. Okay, so right now, based on this oil chart that we have been watching, it's been very clear that prices has been ranging. So since last night, if you guys have been watching, we have already been telling you guys multiple times, yes, oil market has been ranging. And the likelihood, once we could see that prices will be testing the support area at $78, we shall see how that goes. And certainly what really happened is we see that oil prices instead fall and broke down lower, especially after last night's event. I will be discussing it more later on, and on my VIP live session certainly. And prices has been broken down lower than the $73 support area on the ranging movement, and then breaking support after support, $73, $72.50, $71.80, and even broke lower, $70, $69, and ultimately prices has been retesting the lows, especially the pre-breakout movement around $66 as its support right now. And definitely, yes, there's been another few supports below, above that, around $67 and $67.50, but ultimately that de-escalations has actually slowed down things, and we are not really seeing much in terms of the market movement that we could be expecting coming up from here. So I would love to say that probably we could see that there's a huge likelihood we could see all market will be moving on a huge sideways, or there's a huge possibility that this kind of drop is usually not a positive sign. So probably we could see that prices will be trying to stay above $65 and try to maintain its ranging movement on the upper side, or prices could start breaking down lower and head back towards $60 below. So right now it's a very much open market scenario, as prices hasn't been able to continue its uptrend. It has really been breaking down, and that really changes the whole scenario, especially on the daily charts. And with this kind of momentum, it is very much required a very good accuracy, otherwise, or very good risk management, otherwise you could be wiped out in a very huge drop down, especially with what happened last night. All prices practically dropped by 9.10%, and that is certainly a huge drop on the market, and certainly not expected, honestly. I would expect that if the de-escalations happen, yes, all prices will be dropping, but not as big as the ones that we are seeing. As the jumps happen, we are seeing that price on oil just jumps in a day 6% maximum, at its highest around 12%, but it slows down. But that really shows you guys that the demand is not really, or the shock isn't really as huge as expected. And with this kind of drop, I'll be expecting to see the $66.50, $67 will be a very key support area for now, as prices did move in a much more volatile way. I'll be expecting to see how prices will be reacting towards the support, because with the weaknesses appearing and the likelihood that there could be something going well, a ceasefire is there and a deal could be made, probably we could see prices will be testing the support rather than chances for prices to go higher. Alright, especially one, it has already broken down the support on the uptrend channel, especially at the $70 has already been broken down, and with the ongoing escalations already been solved in one way or another, I will be expecting to see how prices will be reacting towards the support and whether prices could be breaking down lower on the long run. Okay, that's the view. And if you guys asking me how could we adjust ourselves and make some trades here, honestly speaking, I think it's a little bit risky to do a lot of trades here for now, especially after that big drop. For now, over the past 1 hour, we are really seeing that prices has been ranging again, $66, $67, $68. So I'm actually seeing that for now, I'll still be expecting to see a much better chart pattern or consolidations before we actually decide where it will be moving next. Personally, my view after breaking down that uptrend channel, I'm seeing that nothing much has changed. Practically, I could assume the same thing is also happening in the silver market, so not much of a change. So let us try to see how that goes on, and whether prices could start breaking down lower than 3,320. That could really change the whole scenario on the market. So let us see how that evolves. But certainly one of the key things that is happening is we started to see that the US dollar index weakened, and at the same time I think we are actually looking at the same thing happening here, where the US dollar index weakened, and we are also seeing that the gold market is also weakened. So I think this is a totally different market scenario where we are expecting, based on the correlation, where US dollar index weakened, gold will be weakening. Gold will be strengthening, but it's not happening in this case, and I think we should focus back and try to judge based on the technical analysis. Okay. And based on the currency market, I think everything is still going very well. If you guys have been watching US dollar CHF for shorts and longs, AUD USD, NZD USD, and the US dollar Euro USD longs, I think that should particularly been doing quite well, I would say. Okay, so if I check with you guys right now, USD.CHF prices are still dropping, continue dropping down lower. Euro USD should be going higher, testing the highs as I've told you guys, 1.164 at its this year's high, also at the AUD USD that has actually been building up a very good pullback as I've told you guys initially, and prices has already broken to that high, broken tonight high, and New Zealand dollar USD could be breaking the resistance area on this chart. So let us see. Ultimately, I think the biggest momentum still appears on the US dollar CHF as well as the Euro USD. Okay, but it's same, prices starts to slow down again, so be careful guys. Currency market movement is always a bit tricky on the short term. And gold hasn't been moving much guys. I've told you guys, prices is still ranging, not really showing much, so I'll be expecting yes, market movement will be a bit slower, and it has already been happening since then, so be patient. We can actually get something clearer once prices tries to break down lower this, or once prices tries to break out higher, and if it fails, we can get a certainty there's a market resistance appeared there, and we could actually say yes, there's a sign of reversal. And if prices slows down on support and break down and give us a false breakdown, that really shows there's a support existing there. So I would love to see how prices will be reacting once prices could be moving much better above this market range, because otherwise we should be able to see that market will be just ranging for now guys. Alright, and definitely if you guys do have any questions on the market, shoot your questions and let me know. But if not, I think market movement will likely be a bit slower guys. Alright, okay, so nothing much for now. I think later on I'll be discussing what's been happening on the stock indices, as I already told you guys. Only one thing I could say, it's been quite wonderful, and I think good chances we could see that prices could be going higher and higher once prices breaks out 22,100 area. I think that could really change the whole dynamic, as I've told you guys multiple times since last month if you guys have been following me. And yes, this is the support area, and you guys could actually see that we are on the verge of a breakout happening here, and that could really signify something of a big change. And I think the long route has already been skipped out, and we are likely to see that prices will try to immediately test the highs 22,200 at its highest. So I think staying at the support at 22,090 and stays above that should be a great sign, but later on I'll get to it. But for now, let us try to see how the gold market movement guys. I think we should be able to see something happening here soon, so let us try to focus back here for now. So it appears that initially prices has been rejecting the high 3,330 area, and right now prices is slowing down, so I think we could actually start seeing something happening soon. So I think let us put a focus here for now, see how that goes. Okay, so for now it's a little bit quiet, it's a bit slow, but signs are showing that the signs of weaknesses are appearing, and we can get the confirmations from price breakdown 33116, 3316 I mean. So I think it's a bit of a waiting game for now. Nothing much happened yet. Gotta be patient, guys. Alright. Now we are looking through the 15-minute time frame charts. Silver is still right the same, not much of difference. All tendency to weaken likely still persists, and I think you could actually start seeing possibility that the all market movement will be much faster, I think. But again, I think it's a little bit risky to do trades. Stop losses is a bit huge and wide. Yep, it's a little bit huge. We shall see how that goes. Right now things are still a little bit slowing down again, guys. So I think right now prices are rebounding, not really showing any signs, so let us wait again. As usual, waiting is part of the game. And okay, so since we have some time left, let us discuss what's going on in the US 100. Alright, so one of the main things that we are seeing, as I've always been telling you guys since the last few weeks, is the support or the resistance area at 21,800. And why I've been telling you guys it's very important that you guys need to watch out. Because one of the things that we see that prices always tends to test the support or the resistance at 21,800. And around this area, prices always tend to break down or break out during this range since last Wednesday. As you guys could see, during those periods, prices has been moving down slower and lower, but not really showing that big downtrend. But certainly, yes, prices is weakening, and we are seeing signs, yes, prices are pulling towards the lower side. However, since last night, we are seeing that there's a lot of market reactions, and if you guys do pay closer attention on this market movement itself, you guys could actually see the ranges is really huge. The volatility is particularly very high. If you guys are comparing it against gold, I think this is something that you guys will never expect could be happening on the gold, where you guys could see that then just in a matter of 1 hour, prices drop, rise really much in 1 hour, and dropping really much in 2 hours, rising really much in 2 hours, again dropping really much in another 2 hours, and then rising really much in 2 hours. So I think the volatility is really huge, and after things slows down, we could actually see a very clear chart pattern. And I think through that chart patterns, we started to see that there's a chart pattern form. We are seeing a double bottom form right at here. Well, I think this is a really positive sign, and that could really lead us to see prices have the potential to reach higher grounds after that potential build up. And since then, we have already been seeing that stock indexes have been moving particularly well, and I'm expecting to see the price target of that double bottom could be hitting 22,210, and that is exactly the same as the high of this year, guys. So I'll be showing you guys what happened on that chart, on the daily chart, so that you guys can see it clearly. And right now, after that breakout, it seems that everything has been going really well. Post breakout on the 21,800 and stays above it, prices immediately goes higher, and so far prices are still ranging after there's been some news happening around the world. I will be updating you guys on the VIP live sessions as usual. So if you guys wanted to know what is happening, you guys should join me on the VIP live sessions, and you guys should click on asking those access through the link on the video descriptions, or you guys could click the link on my profile for access on the VIP live. And if you guys are watching carefully right now, prices is still trying to consolidate, building up on higher grounds, and so far prices has been hitting the support at 22,000, and so far it has been doing a fantastic job on this US 100 movement. And let us go back towards the daily charts and show you guys what is this price mean. So this price is actually literally the high that we are seeing appeared on February, and once this price could be hits that price target on this double bottom chart that we have been seeing just now earlier on the 30-minute time frame chart, we could actually see that this is a very positive move, and on the long run I'm actually expecting to see that stock indices could hit as high once prices break through and maintain its price momentum goes higher. I'm expecting to see prices could be hitting towards 28,000 on the future, guys. So I think that's the long-term target. Maybe could take 1 year at the very least. So I think that is a very positive sign. If this chart pattern is built up and break out higher, I think that should be the scenario of the positivity that we could be seeing on the market. And if you're watching through the shorter time frame, I think it's a little bit too far away if you guys couldn't get the feel. Let us just focus on the short term. So short term wise, I think this is a very good support, and good chances for us to see that tonight we'll be seeing prices goes higher and higher from here, and possibility prices after breaking out 22,090, I think we should be able to see prices goes up even faster from here. So later on I'll be trying to take a closer look here. Definitely it's not just happening on the US 100 or Nasdaq 100, it's also happening on the SP 500 as well, as prices has already maintained its price above the 6,000 mark and even surpassed the 6,050 mark as well. I think that is certainly a very important key milestone on the SP 500, and once prices stays above it, good likelihood for us to see SP 500 also could hit 6,131. I believe that should be the high that has been hit for this year. So I think with this kind of market movement, everything is very much positive. I don't really see any big reasons for prices to slow down for now, especially after going through that consolidations. And again, Dow 30 has actually been also showing us a really positive sign as well, even though it's a little bit slower, and yeah, actually seeing good chances that could be appearing on the market. But certainly I think the leading pack on this market should be appeared coming up from the US 100, and then alongside with the SP 500 should be the leading market movement. Alright, so that's the view on the stock indices for now. I think it's very bullish, and why is that happening, I'll be telling you guys more on the VIP live sessions, and that's not a lot of things I could be discussing here. So if you guys wanted to get that access, click the link on the video descriptions on my profile, and I'll be giving you guys the access on the VIP live sessions once you click and chat me through there. Okay, so let us go back to the gold chart. See, is there any particular market reactions that has been happening? Alright, prices is still trying to break down over 3,320, but again, the signs are starting to appear, very positive signs after the initial slowdown. US dollar index also started to rebound from the lows, so I think from here we could actually start to see something better from here. Okay. So it seems that the momentum is likely to drop, and seems chances with how the US dollar index has been rebounding, and I think that could be enhancing the acceleration. So we shall see how this goes. Personally, I think good chances for us to see that prices could be dropping from here, guys. Alright, so be careful, pay attention. Good chances for that to happen now, after waiting for literally almost 1 hour plus. So I think this could be the momentum that we are waiting. And let's see whether that also spreads out to the silver market, but unfortunately we are not really seeing any signs for now, so still avoiding this, guys. Okay, and focused on the gold chart again. Okay, it seems that the market movement starts to slow down again, and it seems that the momentum isn't continuing for now. So I think it's going to take some time to actually start seeing the prices will be breaking down lower, and we try to see how that goes. Personally, I think the current momentum that we are seeing, the US dollar index rebounding, that could be a very good sign to see that gold could be a little bit under pressure for now. But so far the pressure is subsiding, I would say. So I'd like to see how this market movement works again. I'm still very much seeing the bearishness could be there. So it's all about how and when that happens. And ultimately I would say if we are getting shake out the market with the ranging market movement, there's also the possibility to happen. So if you guys could try to enter at higher prices, that is the best thing. That's certainly always be the case, but I will always be waiting for momentum, and sometimes I couldn't be chasing the highest price. So if you guys could wait, certainly that could be the best thing. And if we are watching through, I think the momentum that will be ongoing from here should be coming out from the US dollar index gaining some strength that could really accelerate the drop on the gold, and could be a good thing, right? So I think let me give you guys a little bit of a review what's been happening and what I will be expecting across different markets. So for now, if we are not really seeing the momentum ongoing on the US dollar index goes on, we could be actually expecting that the gold market will be ranging, and that could be really dangerous, and hope you guys can enter. If you want to do shorts, enter at higher prices, the better. It could be really limiting your risk here. And if we are watching on the silver market movement, I don't think I'll be doing much here, as there's nothing much to do. Prices is just literally ranging since last Friday. And if we are watching through the all market chart, if we are watching through the all market chart, I think one of the most obvious things is the tendency is weakening, but we are not really seeing any clear signs, and any market movement that we are making risk and wise, it's very similar one-to-one, and I don't really see this is worth the short. I think I'll be trying to assess when the momentum is really ongoing rather than moving on a sideways like the ones that we are watching here on the all market place. And back again, I think Euro USD, GBP USD, I mean AUD USD, the momentum should be subsiding, especially with the US dollar index gain some strength, and I think that's why we started to see there's been some pullback on this currency market chart. And also if you guys are trading USD CHF, the momentum should be ongoing, just for the exceptions where we are seeing that Swiss franc has still been ongoing rising. So I think that is the difference maker, and I think tonight the US dollar CHF should be pushing down lower and lower for tonight, maybe hitting back towards 0.807 around there for now. Okay, but ultimately this is the best choice for you guys to trade on the currency market, as the momentum is still there. And again, stock indices, I think this is worth paying attention as well. Good chances could be appearing here, and I'll love to see how the price reactions break out 22,090 guys later on. Okay, so I hope that helps you, and if you guys wanted to get more trading plans, trading ideas, you guys are welcome to click the link on the profile of the video descriptions to get more. Or if you guys wanted to get access in the VIP live sessions where I'll be discussing what's happened around the world, you guys are welcome to click the link on the profile of the video descriptions, ask me for access on the VIP live sessions as well as the trading ideas, and it's all for free. You guys could get it, so welcome to click on the link and ask me for it. So see you guys on the VIP live sessions, if not tonight on the VIP live sessions, or see you guys tomorrow here at the same times. Okay, bye.